Hi everyone, Joan Rogers here from Patchwork Garden, and we have something really exciting to share with you today. At least I think it's exciting. So we have a minute to go. Hope you're all having a really good lunch. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten anything yet today. So I hope you're all having something good. I'm either talking about food or I'm talking about fabric. I feel like that's all I do because I enjoy both of them so much. Okay, everyone on, Helen? Are people signing on?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. We'll just give them a few more minutes here.
Okay.
So,
I'm anxious.
I know you are.
Because I want to share this great tool.
Absolutely. We are now live, it looks like, and just give me a second to push a few buttons over here on the Facebook side of the world.
Okay.
One day I think we should do a behind the scenes lunch and learn.
Oh. We could do that. This is fairly neat.
Yes.
We don't like showing the warehouse because the shipping room, because that's not so neat all the time.
Okay, so hold on just a second. There we go. Whoops. Now can you see us, guys? Are you all there? Okay,
Everybody
they couldn't
there?
see Joan, but the photo should be zooming in. I'm seeing a photo. They're not seeing a photo. So there we go. I'm seeing a photo. I'm seeing, so smile, Joan. You're frowning.
Hi. It's serious. I'm scared that you're not going to see me and not be able to learn this. So this was actually presented, now it's a full runner, ladies and gentlemen. So I know it's a little wonky up there, but I wanted to be able to get it down very quickly so that I could show you. But I think on Saturday Smile, I showed one 12-inch pineapple block. So this is the crux of today's program. So anybody really make a pineapple block before or enjoy making a pineapple block? You can't beat it with this ruler.
Yeah, there is a grid across the screen, guys, and that's just a little technical difficulty. So
I'm divided.
she's
today.
divided into squares,
Here,
okay?
would you like me to stand like this? Then you see my eyes. Is that how I see it? Oh, what's that game that you play?
Oh,
yeah, when you
break the puzzle apart.
Yeah. Well, don't do that. But it just made me think about from here to here. Okay. You think we're safe to get started? All this little silliness?
I think so.
Okay. Welcome to today's program. Again, Joan Rogers here from Patchwork Garden, and today's program is all about the 12-inch skinny pineapple tool and the wonderful blocks that you can make with it. So again, this is the runner that we showed during Saturday Smile. So I had mentioned to watch on Friday that I was going to go through how to make one of these blocks. I'm actually going to go through how to make the 6-inch block, because once you do that, it's repetitive, just adding more layers to the 9 and 12-inch block. But now the runner's done. So remember that we have fabric kits for that, okay? And they include the pattern, which is called Pineapple Surprise, which is a cut loose press pattern, because the ruler is designed by Creative Grid. Okay, so there are fabric kits for those. We actually have one that you could pick it up almost immediately. They're getting folded. Then there's several others that are available, and we have 2 fabrics coming now in February so that we can cut more. Okay, so if you like this look, it is made from Cheddar and Coal by Pam Buddha, and it has been a very, very popular line of fabric. So be sure to check out the website. There's all kinds of fun things that you can do with it, okay? Actually, before I get started, maybe I'll do that. You can also purchase, they are now in Tokens of the Past by Pam Buddha. This is her fabric line, Cheddar and Coal. And then she always designs these fun small three quilt patterns. So this one is a 24-inch square, a 19-inch square, and a 22-inch square. So these are now physically in the shop. We received them yesterday. So you can purchase these now. And all three quilts are made from, well, 10-inch squares. I was about to say layer cake, but 10-inch squares, okay? So you need X amount of 10-inch squares, so to make all three, okay? So we have those available as a purchase. They are getting cut. And then I know you can see that there are borders and backgrounds and things. Those are, of course, extras, okay? But those patterns are here. So that has to do with Cheddar and Coal, not with the Skinny Pineapple. So let's talk about the Skinny Pineapple. Are you ready? Okay. I'm here. Okay, so this is our 12-inch Skinny Pineapple trim tool. So I wanted to just address the tool, and if you did place an order this past weekend, they are at the shop now too, and ready for pickup. Okay, so you can see all these dashed lines, and there are some that are white or like a gray that doesn't show up quite as well on the white paper, but you'll see it against the fabric. Those are lining up. So you'll see that as I progress through showing you how to build a block. Okay, so those are guidelines, and they will run on seams. They're wonderful. There are also these little boxes, and they say anywhere from round 2 to round 14. You can see the dark black. In between, there are also light gray ones, which again will show up on the fabric very well. Okay, so those you are going to notice and I will point them out as I am trimming up. Also, you see a 45-degree angle section of the ruler. This is for trimming odd numbered rows. So I will be using that. This 90-degree section is for trimming even numbered rows. All right, so what can this make? It can make a 6-inch block, a 9-inch block, a 12-inch block. What makes this tool different, perhaps, than another pineapple tool that you might have is it makes skinny logs. So each log is 3/4 of an inch wide. No, that's not. Yes, it is 3/4 of an inch wide after trimming and sewing. Okay, so they're skinny. Okay, so some of your other pineapple tools, you may have started out with wider strips. All right, so I'm going to take this out. Okay, so what are we going to, I'm going to slide this over just a little bit because I want to show you how to press and cut. There we go. All right, so everything for your pineapple blocks, you start with a center square, and every log strip is 1.5 inches wide. That's it, okay? And then it's how you sew and trim. All right, so I have started with my center square, and I have built 1 round. Okay, so the really awesome thing is you start out with 1.5 inch wide strips. But on your trim tool instructions, right in this little portion right here, they tell you all the lengths that you will need. So that is really helpful. Okay, so you are always going to join with 2 strips in opposite directions and then sew them on and press, and 2 strips in to fill in the opposite direction. So you're always going to be sewing a 1/4 inch seam, okay, that scant 1/4 inch, and then we're going to press. Okay, so there's a big, big, big thing about pressing. And I just put my iron on again, so it might not be super hot. Okay, so number 1, I am pressing on the side of a Woolly Betty. On the opposite side, it is a Steady Betty. Okay, so I kind of trade off. I like both sides. I like the Woolly Betty because it definitely holds heat. Okay, so I am going to set my seam from the opposite side, from the wrong side, and then I'm going to press. Now, we on the interactive page today, and I have been talking about this product for the last couple of months. Oops, I'm sorry. Oops, I just went, oh, there I go. Okay. There is a product called Easy Press. Oops, okay. And it is a pressing agent, okay, that will make your blocks lay perfectly flat. And I'm going to share a little story. We were getting ready for a virtual class, and one of my teachers was in the store with me and said, "Oh my gosh, your blocks look so much nicer than my blocks." The reason was the pressing. And she ordered a pen in Solution. So what happens is, no matter how hard you press, you always get that little pop-up. Your blocks don't really lay nice and flat. And for a pineapple that is round upon round, it's just impressive when it lays flat. So the way this works is it has a little nib. There is solution from my bottle in here. So I just take this off and pour in the solution and fill the pen, okay? So then all I have to do is depress the nib. Oops, you can see that darker section. That is the liquid, and run it gently along my seams, okay? And then I press. And I let it sit. And this is now hugging my Woolly Betty. It is laying so incredibly flat. So that is a really good tip for getting these blocks to lay super flat. Okay, this is round 1. Do you want to see how we're going to do this? All right, so round 1, it's an odd numbered round, so I'm going to use the 45-degree side. The other thing is, you can now see that 1-inch block, okay? This little block that is that gray is fitting right inside my center square, okay? And this says round 1. Round 1, I've attached my lights, okay? So I'm going to line that up. This is where all my fabrics meet, and I am going to trim that off. I'm going to turn it around. Okay, these, when you are cutting with the diagonal, you are lining up all 4 times. Okay, lining up all 4 times. Okay, so Helen, can they see?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Are you excited, everybody? I'm excited for you to see this. Okay, and then I've got one more. And if it looks like I'm cutting differently, remember, I am left-handed, okay? All right, so look how beautiful my first block looks. It's picture perfect. I am 1/4 of an inch from my outer edges, okay? All right, so now I am going to attach my dark colors, okay? And actually, I think what I'm going to do, if you hold on just one brief second, I'm going to pull my runner down and I'm going to show you a complete block. Okay. So we are here and we are here. So next I'm going to add, in this instance, 2 orange and 2 black. And I made them the same. Can they be scrappy? Absolutely. Okay. So again, through the magic of television, I have joined my 2 orange and pressed and my 2 black. And I'm now going to press. And I'm going to press in that same manner. I'm going to set my seam first. I am going to press them open. And do you just see how nice that Woolly Betty or Steady Betty works? My fabric isn't going anywhere. It's staying put. Okay, and that's just wonderful. And then, oops, I'm going to take that pen again. I'm going to depress my nib and bring that out. And then I'm going to, and now I'm going to show you how to trim using the 90-degree portion of the ruler. Okay. And it's a building process. So you want to make sure that you dry the solution, okay? All right. So now we are going to set this so that we're now going to use the 90-degree portion, and we're going to trim 2 sides at a time. So now this says round 2. So that now fits in my center square. Sorry, and I'm going to line this up a little bit better. There we go. So I'm going to take that center square. Now, here's the beauty. Do you remember when I was telling you, watch for the dashed lines? There they are. They are on my seam. Look at this solid white line. It is cutting through the center of my center square. Everything is always lined up. Okay, one thing that you might notice is I am not going to have a tip. That is good. I will tell you that when I first started doing this, I was using the ruler incorrectly, but miraculously or mysteriously, my incorrect first block disappeared. And I really didn't want that to happen. I wanted to show it to you, but I can't find it anywhere. So again, center square for round 2 is in my center square. And now you're watching all these really cool lines. And I'm going to cut once, and I'm going to go around the bend, and I'm going to cut twice. Okay? Now, I'm simply going to rotate, and I'm going to do the same thing from the opposite side. Cool. Okay, so here we go. I have to say, this really like floats my boat. Again, this is, the tip is off the fabric. And the reason for that, ta-da! Is that not fun? Okay, so the reason for that is we want to start making the pineapple, okay? So this first round has points. The next rounds, see how I trimmed that? It's going to be flat, and that's what we want, okay? And that's what I did not have in my first round. Okay, now I switched back, and for me personally, when I'm building this runner, I have attached all the same background fabric. So all 4 strips of background fabric have been attached, and they are the same fabric. Could it be that they are scrappy? Absolutely. Okay, remember they're all 1.5 inches wide, and all the measurements are on that chart within the ruler. Okay, so I'm just gonna do my little best press thing again, and I'm gonna trim, I'm gonna press this. All right, do you all want one? I want you all to have one, because this is like so fun. Okay, so you can kind of see how it's starting to grow a little flat, okay? Now you're gonna watch what I'm gonna do. This is another way, a little bit different than how we cut the center square, okay? So, again, because I have round 1, 2, 3, it's an odd round. I'm gonna use the 45-degree angle, and now there is this long white line that says 45 angle trim line for rounds 3, 5, 7, 9, etc. All really cool guidance, okay? So what you're gonna do is take and place that white line, this white line, on the seam of round 2. In addition, you have these white dashed lines and your white solid line dissecting your center. And it's all the way, it's extending out now into the second round. So you are going to trim this, okay? So the white line is your guidance. I'm gonna trim. And again, what's gonna happen is once I sew, the point is going to go away. And remember, these are trimmed individually, okay? So my first thought was to keep using that center square. You do not, okay? So again, white line, solid white line on the seam line, okay? Cutting through, and then my dashed lines, okay? That's gonna come off. One more round, or one more seam. I think you can kind of see, right? So, and it's kind of scary at first because you're thinking, I'm gonna lose my point. Yes, you are. Okay, so this is round 3. Ta-da! And see how perfect they are? All right, so now we go to round 4. And we have attached, oh, I sewed them the wrong way. Ah, so this should be black and this should be orange. Well, it's not. Okay, so.
Only you know they're wrong.
I know they're wrong, yes. I think I was distracted by my little buddy cat. Okay, so it does attach these, okay? And I'm attaching these. So now I'm gonna press, okay? And there was one other little tip that I wanted to share with you right from the very beginning. As I put, when you first start out, the first round and the second round, you probably, well, my suggestion is that you sew with your, this side up, your block up, so that you can watch where you're crossing through on the intersection to get the seam correct, because you want points. Once you're no longer interested in the points, then it doesn't matter. So I hope I explained that well. On round 1, sew with your seam facing up, okay? So that you can cross through the intersection properly, okay? So you can see how I am pressing, and this is going to be a very, oh, I just thought of it, impressive block. Ha, ha, ha. All right, so now we are 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And we're gonna cut with the 90-degree angle, and we are going to move to round 4. And that is going to be in the center. And here we go. Now my white lines are still on my seam, and my solid white line is again cutting through the whole block. It's so cool. Now, again, see how you're off the edge? That is okay. Okay? Okay. It's okay. Round 4, okay? And all of this is written step by step by step by step in the instructions. But it becomes intuitive after a while. Round 4 is in my center square. Oh, really? Oh, I'm good. Okay, dashed line, solid line, and I'm gonna trim. So this is the end of round 4, okay? And see how it's starting to get that little pineapple look? All righty. So now round 5 I did, because that was my light color again. So I did all 4 the same, and I used the same trim technique that I used on round 3. So that was round 5. So all that I have left to share with you is to do round 6. And there are 2 steps to round 6. Okay? 2 steps. So, and then if you wanted to make a 9-inch or a 12-inch, you are simply going to make more rounds. But the process is exactly the same. You can't cut me off though, Helen. Because I wanted to show the seam line for the, okay, so here we go. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so again, I'm gonna use my 90-degree portion of the ruler. I'm gonna find round 6, and it's gonna go in the center. Okay. And I'm gonna do this because the end of each block, and I hope you're all watching how it all lines up. I'm gonna show you the end, because at the end, each block, there's a 2-step process to finish it off, okay? So this is round 6. This is going to be my 6-inch block, okay? All right, so these are too wide. Too wide. Okay, so we have to add in a little extra step, and before we attach our corners, which will be the end of the block, we're simply going to take that 45-degree angle, our white line, and we're gonna line it up and cut. So that, oops, white line on my seam line, and this gets chopped off for each angle, and I'll just do 2, okay? So I hope you're watching like that it's all repetitive. You can see what I'm lining up, okay? That's on my seam, my dashed lines are all showing, okay? So that's 2 out of the 4, and you would trim, so now you can see the difference. That's important, okay? So what we're gonna do is you cut squares that are cut in once on the diagonal, and they form the corners of the block, and you're done. Okay, so here I am. I've got them sewn on. I have them sewn on. Okay. Maybe I won't do my best, my easy press. Oh gosh, my block won't be good.
We can come back and do that.
But she's rushing me.
It's all my fault.
It's all your fault. This is a lot of good information.
It is, and I just let them know that we're going to post it on Facebook, and we'll also put it on our YouTube channel so they can have the video whenever they go to make their block.
Okay. All right, so this is your block. So within the ruler, oh, look at that great picture. There's the 6-inch. There's the 9-inch. And then the 12, okay? So I'm gonna do the 6-inch, and look at how perfect. And it's because you're trimming all the time on every round. So I am lined up so that all I'm gonna cut off are my, and I'm not cutting this because I didn't use my Easy Press. So I'm just gonna cut off all those extras on the triangle. I am at the very edge of my block, and when you're done, it's a perfect 6.5-inch block. Perfect. And look at how the center square is in the center square, and all my lines, my dashed lines are on all my seams. Okay, I'm done. So is that not the coolest thing? Seam align, yep. All right, so when you're doing, this is, okay. So I'll just say, this is your 12-inch block, and it's the same thing repeated, just that there's more rounds. It's a total of 14, and these are bigger squares cut in half. Same process. Okay, if you're gonna make a runner or anything with borders and things, these are really narrow little strips. So there is another product by the Acorn Company that I know you're gonna say, this is just downright crazy, but it's not. And we all thought Helen was crazy when she introduced this to us, but she's not really crazy. So if you want to join these two pieces together, normally we would pin. And then you're always concerned that there's the slipping and the sliding of the feed dogs from underneath and your fabric on the top. Well, if they're cut the same, they should lay together the same. So I just used Seam-Align glue that comes in this little 1-inch bottle and 4-ounce refills. It has a little needle nose tip, and I just dotted out some glue. And then you're gonna line them up so that they match. Let it, oh, you can see the glue coming through. I just let it set a few minutes. I'm always doing a bunch and stitch this. Now, I showed you a really short one. I attached all my sashing and my borders with Seam-Align, and oh my gosh, it just works beautifully, just beautifully. Everything lines up just perfect. And you never have to worry about the fabric shifting because it's glued together. If you're worried that this is gonna hurt your fabric, it won't. It won't gum up your needle. It's just wonderful.
And it washes out.
And it washes out.
And it's archival safe.
And it's who?
Archival safe.
Archival safe. What's archival safe?
That means if you are making an heirloom quilt, the glue is not going to hurt that quilt at all.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's archival safe. I just learned something today. I love that. Okay, so are there any questions?
No, they are just amazed. You made it look so wonderful. Love the blocks. Yvonne says, thanks so much for making the video. Betsy says it's kind of like rubbing your head and patting your stomach. And someone else commented just an appreciation of what our foremothers did to create those blocks without these kind of tools.
Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? Oh my gosh. But I'm glad we have them because I really like a perfect pineapple. Okay, so just to rehash before we close, okay, this is Pineapple Surprise. You can purchase it just as a pattern, or if you order the fabric kit for Cheddar and Cole, the pattern will come in the kit, okay? This is Game Time Table Runner, so fun, fun, fun. Look at this, gumdrop, super scrappy. Oops, sorry. These are all on your interactive page, and I think I'm actually missing one pattern because we were sold out of it again, but I have it coming again. Pineapples and pinwheels and pineapple puzzle, okay? So I think I covered everything. If you were closed out of bundles for cheddar and coal, we are able to cut a couple more, so those will be going up shortly. Watch for that. If you want cheddar and coal, as soon as we finish cutting everything, if you're out of town, it will go back up online so you can purchase any bits of yardage that you need. Okay, if you have any other questions, please just give us a holler. Other than that,
Two things.
two things.
One, we're going to be closed tomorrow for the weekend.
Oh yeah, how could I forget? It's a true Friday. Oh my gosh. Yes, we're going to be closed for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We will return on Tuesday.
For curbside service, and Tuesday night is our Galentine and Palentine party.
Yes. So Tuesday's Treasures is Galentine/Palentine party. So be sure, don't miss that. And curbside pickup only at the shop on Tuesday. No in-store shopping. In-store shopping is next Wednesday again through Saturday. Am I good?
You think you're good?
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you really loved our presentation because I love this ruler. Okay. Take care, everyone. Bye.